I need to find my selfie stick. I don't know where it is because I keep having to hold it, and it's so awkward the way I have to hold it. So I'm trying not to cover the camera and still be comfortable, but whatever. Maybe I'll find it later. Got some stuff in my chest because it's just allergies. I know it's just allergies. Don't panic. Because I was doing a film shoot yesterday, and there was a lot of like outdoors and doors open and windows open and stuff like that. Despite the fact that pretty much everyone was wearing masks, I was the only person, because I was the actor, that I was taking the mask off for the shoot and then putting it back on in between stuff. And I actually just want to talk about that experience because filmmaking has become very weird. I think it's probably the thing that's become the most strange. It's not impossible. It's not impossible to shoot films and make films and work with other people and work with actors and stuff like that these days. But it's very weird. It's very difficult. So I was doing a big commercial. So I don't remember signing an NDA. But if it's a big name, well, really, I mean, if you've shot anything, just keep the special details to yourself. Just hold on to all that until it all comes out, and then you can say stuff. It's just safer that way. But it was a commercial, and it was the first set I had been on since the whole, pandemic, since the whole lockdown and COVID and stuff like that. Had a mask, arrived to set, had no symptoms walking in. They do the thermometer check on everyone's heads, foreheads and stuff like that, make sure no one has a temperature. Totally fine. Filled out a questionnaire and all this kind of stuff, standard health procedures, washing our hands regularly. They had hand sanitizer basically in every single room. They had these places to wash hands near the food, around around set, and at the dressing and makeup room and stuff like that. Which, I mean, technically should really just have. A lot of this is just stuff we should have done from the beginning, during flu season, during everything. Like, why now? Like, wash your hands, duh, freaking duh. But so I was there, and basically the only people that were allowed to be anywhere near me without my mask on were the makeup and costume people. The makeup and costume lady was very sweet, very lovely people. And because they also had masks, but then they also had like blast shields to go over their face, and they're wearing gloves and stuff like that. What made this weird was the fact that I've never been on a set with so many people, such a large set, such a large production, where I felt so alone. So, again, I'm not giving any specific details. I mean, who knows? Maybe they won't even use my bit. Maybe my stuff's just going to hit the cutting room floor. I don't know. Who knows? But again, so sorry. I was there in a room on a couch with, cameras and lights everywhere. But no one else was on set. No one was near audio. The boom mic was all wireless, and the lights were all set up. The camera was everything pulling focus and all that kind of stuff, and movement was all done remotely. And then there was a stand that had an iPad with a little mic and camera setup on it, so that the director, who was in a completely different state, was able to Skype with me. And again, no one else is there. Everyone is in other rooms, and they're like 20. I think the closest person was like the sound guy, and he was like 15 feet away from where I was. It was so silent. It was so quiet. And there's no other actors. I'm the only actor there. But I'm reacting to people that are like not seen, like they're not on set. Also, part of this was, was to make it like where they could shoot each actor's bits and then just splice them together. So there were no other actors. I was the only actor. And the other actors, they were shot alone. And then, the other actor was shot alone. So I'm reacting to I have never seen any of the other actors. I have no idea who they are. And this was kind of, and that made it awkward, and that made it very, very, not that I'm not used to, talking to a camera on my own, but it made it very awkward because it's not what I was expecting. And the director, his image, his feed kept breaking up, going in and out. The audio quality would kind of break. So every now and then I'm like, "What? I didn't hear what you said." His video was constantly going out, and he would have a delayed reaction or a delayed feed. Like there was just a delay. So I would ask him a question. It would take him a little while to get back with me, and so it was very, very awkward. And I've never really worked on a set like that before. I've done like voiceover, very similar to that, where I'm alone, boom mic overhead, totally isolated, webcam feed from the director. I've done that before, but it felt more like that. And the weird thing is I was like, I'm not just voice acting, I'm acting. I'm trying to act here. Full body, everything, in costume, aware of camera and body placement, trying to not get off access, trying to cheat to it and all this kind of stuff. And it was also really, really awkward because I don't think that me and the director, I know that I didn't fully understand the script. I actually auditioned for a different part, and they had me do a callback, and they had me come in and I re-auditioned for the same part, that a part that I understood, a role that I understood a lot better. And then they had me read for another part, and I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. And I was kind of like, playing it like kind of just very, very half-heartedly. Not really that I didn't care. It was mostly like because I had no basis of what to, base my emotions off of. And then, I left thinking, I didn't get anything. And then I found out that I got it. And I was like, what the? Really? And so when I was on set, still having trouble not fully understanding what the role and what was being asked of me. Also, there was some stuff in there that made me think that the character was more depressed. There was actually some lines saying that the character was crying. And I mean, if you guys have been watching my channel for like a long time, you guys know that I'm very, into drama. And, I was like, yeah, I can, cry and stuff like that. And I told the director, I was like, do you need me to cry? Or is it going to be like, someone's going to come in with the peppermint stick or whatever? And he's like, if you got tears, go for it. But that was at the beginning. But as we went on, it was more comical and lighthearted. And it was very difficult for me to get in that headspace to generate the tears and yet still do the performance high energy and comical. So it was a very weird experience. It was very, very awkward, and there was lots of me taking the mask off, putting it back on, and so the makeup lady was always having to retouch around where the mask was touching, and it was very weird. It wasn't bad. I wouldn't say I've been on sets that I have not enjoyed. I've done projects where I've hated. I'm always very professional, and I try to make the best out of it. I don't think that me and the director had like any kind of bad energy. I think it was just based on the limitations and the handicap of the technology and all this kind of stuff, that there were just a lot of stuff that it's easier when a director can be in that room with you and walk it through you, because I can see the subtleties of his face. We can do the body language together. We can do a lot of stuff. And so here's me trying to like, you mean like this? And I don't know how good audio and video quality he has on his end watching me. And I don't know if he's getting like a delay or anything, or if it's getting all chopped up. I have no idea. So it was very, very weird, very, very awkward. But I did have a conversation with some of the other people on set talking about this, asking them how many projects they had been doing this year. And they were, they had like, everyone basically agreed that they had like 2 months where they were basically, it was dead, like they had no work, and they were really panicking. But then things started to pick up again. And they all basically said that it's weird, and adds a few extra steps and a little bit more stress but it gives a lot of people the opportunity to come up with creative means of getting things done. Like, for example, having to rework your schedule and having to rework your plan. So instead of so normally it probably would have been me and the other people on set, so that I could react off them. But because of all this, even though there would have been distance between us, they wanted to make it safer and just keep us divided because we weren't technically on camera at the same time. So it added extra steps and it added extra days and extra planning and extra complications. And it made it a little bit more tricky on me. The problem is my bit was so short and there's so many emotions conveyed over such a short period of time. It was really hard to like so fastly switch between all of them, and I didn't. There really wasn't ever like a rhythm. There really wasn't a rhythm, and for the most part, I'm in my mind. I'm just guessing because I didn't get to see any footage of what the other people did. I didn't get to see even who the other actors were. I had no visual in mind. So and then last I totally forgot about this. And then the person reading me the lines was also was 25 feet away from me. But they put a walkie-talkie in the room, and and they were going to be reading the lines. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of walkie-talkie. It is awful, awful audio, and I could hardly tell what they were saying. At first, I was trying to listen to really understand what they were saying. After a while, I just knew the lines. I know when that thing stops making noise, then I start. Because it was also really, really awkward because I could hear them in the room clearer 25 feet away than I could hear the audio of the walkie-talkie. And there's also a half a second delay between half a second to a second delay between him saying something and the walkie-talkie saying something. So it just made it really, really, really not awful, but just if I had a choice of doing that again or not, I'm gonna go with not, of course. But I just wanted to kind of, I don't know if every actor is going through this experience, but kind of give what to expect if you're going into acting or if you are an actor. This is what my experience has been. I don't know what y'all's is. I would love to know down below. But yeah, it's been weird. But man, it's life.